What's up guys, Rodrigo here, welcome back to one more video guys. Yesterday I showed to you my short position on Solana, and if you followed the charts today, you saw that I got wrecked. Yes, I was stopped out, but as you saw, as I showed you, my stop loss was below the level of my entry point, so I didn't win no money, but I also didn't lose any money. It was definitely not comfortable to open my trade account and see that I didn't have any more those juicy profits, but as I said, I was prepared for this. But it is what it is. Today is another day and we had more opportunities. I have traded already and made some money today. Let's talk about Bitcoin already, guys. As expected, you can see that we broke below the level of the top of this parallel channel. We retested it on the way back here and we were rejected. So from this point right here, pretty much easy short position, guys. Easy, very easy short position. Broke below this level, was rejected on the way back. Boom, we are going to come all the way down to the bottom of the channel, as I told you. If you watched my video about chart patterns, guys, the last one that I uploaded, I was explaining to you a pattern called bump and run. This movement that we are having here, guys, is actually a bump and run pattern. As I explained to you on that video, guys, we are going up here, forming higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, until the moment that we exploded to the upside, guys. After touching this level of support here, we just exploded to the upside. This is called the bump, and then after this we had the run. That's the bump and run pattern. The target for the bump and run, guys, is calculated, of course, measuring the height of the pattern. From the top, I'm considering here the closure of the candles, not the wicks, okay? You could make a more aggressive target, of course, but I am going to be more conservative here. So, projected from the moment of the breakout. Let's say we are going to break out from this point here. The target's going to be all the way down to $32,900, as you can see. And as I am speaking, guys, the price keeps going to the downside, so very soon we are going to finally have this breakout here to the downside, as I've been warning you for weeks, guys, on this channel. We are very close to this. We had some levels of support here, guys, on the way to the downside, but the price is just too weak and we just went straight through these levels. And guys, what is going on? We are just breaking it to the downside right now. Massive movement to the downside. We are just going straight down. I personally don't want to see a very strong continuous movement to the downside, guys. I prefer to trade when we see the breakout and the retest. For example, I like to join, I like to open the trade from this retest, not from the breakout itself. But of course, not every time we have this opportunity. Ethereum here, guys, we were rejected by the level of this resistance. I was about to tell you that we lost this point of control here, and most probably we are going to go down from this point, but unfortunately you see this movement is being so fast and aggressive, and I couldn't tell you in time. The next important level of support that we have here for Ethereum is going to be all the way down to $1,900, and the next one would be all the way down to $1,850. I also wanted to talk about MATIC, guys, because we are going crazy to the upside here on MATIC. Let me zoom out very quickly so you can see. There we go, very crazy movement to the upside. We were rejected by this level here of resistance that I told you. I told you about this level on the live stream, guys. The level of 0.9578. Coming back to the 1 hour time frame, guys, I want you to pay attention to this pattern that we are forming here on the top of this trend. I know there are many lines here, guys, a lot of information, but I will make it clear for you. Pay attention to this yellow level of support right here, just this very bold one, and this very bold yellow as well level of resistance, guys. This is usually a formation of a top, yes, and we could expect the price to go to the downside. The target for this one would be measuring from this level to this level, projecting here from the moment of the breakout. Hitting this target, guys, you can see that we would be breaking two important trend lines that we are having. First, this trend line right here, this red one, and the second, also this red one here. And when we break the trend line, guys, of course, we understand that we are most probably keep going to the downside, guys. The most important level of support that we have below here is going to be all the way down to 0.7518. And if we pay attention here on the 1 hour time frame, guys, you can see that we are right now exactly at the level of the support of this pattern, guys. We had a wick to the downside here, so there is the case that we are going to see some pumpy action right here like this before we finally manage to break this to the downside. But I am pretty much bearish on this price action. And the same thing here with Bitcoin, guys. As you can see, we left a wick to the downside here on the 1 hour time frame already. Yes, there is a wick to the downside. On the way back, we can use the lines that we had for support here as new resistances. The first one at $35,600 and the next one at $36,000. I'm not saying that we have to come all the way up to these levels, but definitely there is the case, because the market always wants to fool the majority of people. Yes, the market wants to take our money. So we had this huge wick to the downside. A lot of people open short positions here with the stop losses here, for example. Now the market's coming to stop them out before finally actually breaking to the downside. And also, guys, on ADA Cardano, we are having some movement to the downside. We are being rejected by this major trend line here. This one that we were talking about on the live stream, we are being so far rejected by it, and by doing so, we are retesting this very important trend line, this ascending support, as you can see. Let me make it red and bold. Yes, breaking this to the downside, guys. You understood already the same scenario as I said about MATIC. We would expect to keep going to the downside. Of course, we could break out, go a little bit up like this to retest this previous support as a new resistance, and then we expect some more movement to the downside. If we take the volume profile here, guys, from the last bullish movement that we had, you can see that with this bearish candle, we are closing below this very important level here of 0.3556, which is our point of control, which is the level that we have the highest volume traded. So this candle is not closed yet. So it could be the case, for example, just an example, that we are going to close this candle below this level. We are going to go up, retest this level, fail, and then we are going to finally break from this trend line, from this ascending support. And before I go, let me show you the trade that I said that I did today. As you can see right here, $363 profit on my trade position today. If you also want to start trading and make your own money, guys, I recommend you to use Bybit, my favorite exchange. If you don't want to do KYC on Bybit, then I would suggest you to use Bitflex instead, the second link on the description of this video. So yes, guys, back to Bitcoin, because this is the most important thing that we are having today. The breakout of this level. So far it was a fake out, but most probably, as I said, we are just going to have some relief rally like this before we finally break to the downside. That's it for today, guys. If you like this content, don't forget to smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the bell, and I see you in the next time. Stay focused.